Welcome, everybody, to Own Every Word, the game show, where the word herd submits answers to fill in the blank statements. Our panel of comedians debates which is the best answer, and that person that submitted can earn incredible NFT prizes. Now, our comedians will each write down which they think is the best fit. They will argue their point, hopefully vehemently, like I hear in the background right now. And from the words they choose, they will come to a consensus willingly or unwillingly. Let's meet our comedians for tonight. Our first funny person, who I would like to introduce. You may have seen him on Mad TV. You may have seen him on the Own Every Word Matt Damon parody teaser. Please give it up for the very funny Frank Kitey. Frank, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am wonderful, and I'm glad that you asked. Since this is a show regarding words, can you tell me what's the first word you ever said?
The first word I ever said was onomatopoeia.
That's very musical. That's very musical of you, and it explains a lot.
Scrabble champions, so they're Scrabble champions, and
Hey, man, you got the triple word score of my heart. Next comedian that we have coming out here. Hey, look, she's been on AP Bio. She's been on Bob's Burger. She's been on The Great North. She's been on Modern Family. And most importantly, she's from Michigan. Jamie Moyer, everybody. Jamie, how are you?
Hello. Yes, I'm from Michigan. I still say Pop, though I've been in LA for 12 years.
Yes.
And I'm good. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for asking.
You're very, very welcome. Words again. What is the word that best describes your life?
Heinous.
I'm sorry. One more time on that one.
Heinous.
Heinous.
Disastrous. Nightmare.
Heinous. I would have to agree with you sometimes on that. It is definitely one of those times. However, I think we can give some heinous answers tonight. I'll be expecting a lot out of you. Last but definitely not least, she's a model. She's a gigantic TikTok star, and she has an amazing background. It's Lexi Paloma, everybody.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. Again, since we're talking about words, if you could only bring one word with you on a desert island, what word would that be?
French fry.
That is such a good answer. I'm going to mash that up into one word. That French fry is now going to be one word. We are adding that. We are owning that word. Fantastic. Everybody's here. Let's get to the game. Now, in every episode of Own Every Word, the game show, we also reveal the theme for the 1,000 special words in the next drop. And February, being the month of Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day and Thank Your Mailman Day, the theme will be love. So each fill in the blank is based around that theme. Let's start with round one, and our prompt is already up here. I should have known he was going to be a terrible kisser because the whole date he couldn't stop talking about blank. Let's see what the word herd submitted. Okay, so I should have known he was going to be a terrible kisser because the whole date he couldn't stop talking about rubbers. The whole date he couldn't stop talking about gangers. The whole date he couldn't stop talking about bombings. He couldn't stop talking about Taipei. He couldn't stop talking about boy. He couldn't stop talking about climate. He couldn't stop talking about debauchery. He couldn't stop talking about courtships. He couldn't stop talking about rodeos, or he couldn't stop talking about artichokes. You've seen what the word herd has put out there. Let's grab some first impressions. So, Frank, what's jumping out at you, first of all?
Well, rodeos jumped out at me for a moment, but this is a terrible thing. But as I know it, a rodeo, I learned this in college, is if two people are having sex, a bunch of friends run into the room and like, woo, get all excited for you. So that seems very embarrassing. That's how I know a rodeo. I don't know any other way you could describe it.
Yeah.
Well, but I think the thing that sort of hit me hard, that would be sort of a bummer to talk about, is bombing. I mean, either a comedian or just like blowing things up.
Yeah.
feel like that's probably not going to get anybody in like an amorous mood.
Yeah, probably not in a good kissing mood. Bombings and rodeos are on your mind. Jamie, what about you? What jumps out at you from all this?
Well, so many delightful choices here. I'm going to say I'm really torn between rubbers and courtship. Let's start with courtship. I don't want to hear about all your exes at the big, date night kisser. Why aren't you still with them? Maybe you're a bad kisser. But at the end of the day, I don't think we need to talk about rubbers. Finn, Max, all the talk of rubbers. It seems a little presumptuous, sir. Thank you.
I would say
so I'm going with rubbers. Shame on you.
rubbers. Yes, that's definitely putting the cart before the horse. So, Lexi, what about you? It runs to you. What sticks out at you first?
I would have to agree with Jamie. I definitely took notice to rubbers first, but not in the same way. When I think of terrible kissing, I think of braces. And when I think of rubbers, I might think of rubber bands in the mouth. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. And then the second thing, artichoke. I don't know. I think of terrible kissing and I think of food being stuck in the teeth. So it's another option.
All right. Okay. A lot of dental inspiration that's coming your way. I like it. So now you've all heard some compelling arguments. I'll tell you right now, the one that sticks out at me is gangers, because I'm going to tell you right now, when I first saw that, I went, what is a ganger? And then I thought of what a ganger might be. None of the definitions were anything that I would want to talk about ever with anyone. But you've heard some first impressions. So now it is time to see if anybody was swayed in any particular direction. So please, comedians, write down your answer. Which one are you going to pick? Write it down, and I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little jingle while you write it down. Here we go. Figaro, ladies and gentlemen. All right, how are we doing so far? Are we good? Thumbs up. All right, everything is written down. So first, Frank, what did you pick?
Well, when I'm on a date, I think nothing more wonderful and romantic than sitting across from somebody with a glass of wine and whispering, Timothy McVeigh, Ted Kaczynski, the Irish Republican Army. So I said,
bombings. We got one for bombings. Okay, Jamie, where'd you fall in this? What's on that sheet of paper?
I got to stick with rubbers, and I drew a wrapper of a condom around the R.
That is a wonderful depiction right there. I mean, that you have covered this both visually and auditorily. Lexi, how about you?
I stuck with my gut instinct.
Oh, so we have so far majority. We got 2 for rubbers. Frank, okay, 60 seconds. Do you want to agree, or do you want to fight for your life on this one?
Well, here's what I'll say. I mean, having an open and honest conversation about safe sex is not a bad thing. So, I mean, I don't know why it's a bad thing to talk about rubbers. Like, I think maybe you're putting the cart ahead of the horse, but I would say it's not a bad thing to be open and honest about sex. I mean, we are in the age of consent, and I think it's important that we're open about these things. I mean, I'm happy to be swayed, but I'm just saying, rubbers.
Well, you know what? I will go ahead and I would agree with you on that point, but just to give you a reminder of the prompt, the whole date, he couldn't stop talking about rubbers. Now, I'm telling you right now,
safe sex.
That's to a point of almost Bubba Gump proportions. How many rubbers can you talk about?
Long rubbers.
Green ones. Ribbed ones,
rubbers. I mean, Trojans, Magnums,
All right, so
you're changing your own mind right now. Here, you're showing why.
Rubbers.
All right, we have a consensus. Rubbers, it is. Oh my goodness, it took us a minute to get here, but folks, we have gotten here. And let's see, who is our winner? Oh, well, look at that. Oh, there we go. Oh, right. Well, from the word heard, we want to thank you for your submission. Please check your email because you will be receiving a very free, official, unofficial, own every word NFT of your crypto.com NFT name. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, we came to our first consensus. How about that? Rubbers it was. Oh,
I feel like
man.
also the British call rubbers, a rubber is like the shoes you wear in the rain. So what if it's a British guy that's just like, I put on me rubbers and I went in the rain with my umbrella, and so me rubbers got a little bit wet. So like, we don't even know what kind of rubbers he's talking about. I mean, we made
Frank,
a
the
consensus.
round's over. You conceded. Just let it go.
I see where you're coming from. We are going to go on to round 2 though. So round 2, let's see what our prompt is. All right, we got a whole new thing to get in here. Oh no, my wedding day is ruined. The best man and the maid of honor snuck into the closet to go blank. Let's see what we got submitted here from the word heard. They snuck into the closet to go multi-phase. They snuck into the closet to go biting. They snuck into the closet to go flashing. They snuck into the closet to go whatnot. They snuck into the closet to go coming. They snuck into the closet to go gassy. They snuck into the closet to go fixing. They snuck into the closet to go poke. They snuck into the closet to go binge. Or they snuck into the closet to go stretch. We got a lot of really fun ones here. So Frank, I mean, coming hot off of the rubber's disappointment, what's jumping off at you right now?
Well, I'm not one to kink shame at all, but I do think it is a little strange for some, like the maid of honor and the best man, to go away and go gassy, like to lock themselves in a small room and like just toot away seems a little bit strange. Whatnot is sort of like a pretty good, like vague thing. Like, oh, we just went into the closet and, whatnot.
Whatnot.
So like, I feel like that's vague. Like, if you don't want to be the drama of the day, it clearly is the bride and groom's day. So you're just like, hey, we just stepped into the closet and we whatnot.
I like that. A little vague, a little this and that. I talked to a guy about a thing. All right. So, Jamie, what jumps out at you?
Well, just right off the bat, they snuck into the closet to go coming. I mean, it's so poetic, really. But ultimately, I'm going to have to go with stretch. If you want to get physical, you want to show how you are limber, you like to do yoga, just do it out in the main area. You don't have to be ashamed.
Why the
You don't have to sneak away to show people you can put your leg behind your head. Keep it out in the open area. Stretch is my
Live
answer.
your truth. I love it. Live your truth. Stretch freely. Lexi, what about you?
I'm really drawn to poke right now for some reason.
Yes.
Poke is calling my name. Either that or biting. But poke is really reaching for me right now.
No, I could understand that. I mean, here's the thing. All of these to me kind of stood out as something that could be sexual. No matter what the word was, even stretched to a certain extent. Multi-phase is the one that jumps out at me because all it does is make me think of sci-fi. And at that point, I would be more upset that they kept that from everybody. Like, that seems like it would be a cool thing to bust out in the middle of the dance floor while the DJ's spinning Bruno Mars or something like that. You don't take that to the closet. I, for one, would be offended. Well, you've heard these things. Now it is time to make a decision. Grab that sheet of paper, grab that pen, write down what really has come out to you. Maybe somebody said something that swayed you one way. Maybe you're going to stick to your guns on this. What do you feel they snuck into the closet to go do that would ruin a wedding day? Thank you to all of the word heard, by the way. And I'm sorry I didn't mention it. It was laying low. It was your submission of rubbers. So laying low. Check your email soon. You were the winner of the last round. All right. I see heads up. I see confident looks and sparkly shining eyes. So Frank, share with us, what did the best man and the maid of honor sneak into the closet to go do?
Well, it seems like we really want to go in a direction where we were specific with what they went to go do. And I feel like they didn't want to contact each other in sort of a vague way on Facebook circa 2011 or something. So
Dinosaurs.
I think they probably went into that closet and they stretched.
Swayed by Jamie from Michigan. So, Jamie, you've heard Frank. He seems to have swayed by your last argument. What did you write down?
Well, Frank, thank you. I appreciate that. I actually went in a different direction. I thought that Lexi saying poke made a lot of sense. Plus, I've heard of poke as in it's in a song, find someone to go poke on. And also, frankly, with the O, I could also draw another condom wrapper. So it was really the O of poke that moved me on to changing my answer from stretch to poke.
Yes, a poke and a twofer for a condom reveal. Maybe, Jamie, you're the one who's going to be talking about rubbers all night in the day. And I'm here for it. All right, Lexi, it's down to you. What did you write down?
Well, I'm glad that Jamie and I have had each other to continuously support, because I did in fact stick with my initial poke.
Poke it is. Frank, you are a one-man army. You are a one-man band. Are you, can you come around to the consensus? Can you be swayed even one more time? Or can we make a good case for stretch?
I guess what I'm wondering is why would two people go into a closet to eat like a rice bowl with tuna? Why would they go into a closet in a small area, and do that?
Perhaps it's a vegan wedding. They're not doing the fish. And these people, they really, really are into, as you said, fish sauce.
Poke feels like a 1950s like thing that like, hey, did you hear Sally Ann and Jimmy went and poked? I imagine this wedding occurs in 1955, so I'm fine with poke if y'all are. But I also don't know why someone would go into a closet and stretch. I mean, that's not the place to like get bigger. None of this makes sense.
No, Frank, they were ashamed to stretch. They didn't want people to know how healthy their lifestyle was.
Oh,
and right, okay. And that really is the shameful thing, folks out there. Don't hide your stretching. All right, just be free. Feel free to stretch, downward dog, go into cobra, do your vinyasas. We're here for you. So poke is our winner. Big thanks to Victor of the Word Heard for your submission. Check your email. You will have an official, unofficial, own every word NFT coming to you in your way. And let's move it on to round 3, because we are kicking. We are hot. Let's get romantic here for a second, okay? This Valentine's Day is special. It's also the anniversary of the first time my true love and I first made love blank. It's first made love morally, first made love knowingly, first made love actually, first made love bleakly, first made love boringly, first made love infectiously, first made love desirable, first made love painless, first made love knee deep, and first made love beautifully. I almost got teared up. This was all so romantic. If I can really confess and just be vulnerable with you. Frank, what about you?
Well, I think if you're making love and it's the first time that you're knee deep, it's probably not painless. So I think Lexi's eyes just went like, oh God. I think it's what's terrifying. I mean, knee deep and painless are terrifying. Knowingly is terrible to me. Like thinking about this, though, that two people have made love, but they didn't know they did it. So they were either too drunk or they just didn't feel someone being inside of someone. So that's kind of scary. I feel like the one that jumped out at me right away was the first one morally, as if every time they made love prior, it was immoral. But this time, it was moral. It was approved by the Lord.
There you go. Which in some ways, I mean, hey, it has its merits, but we all know shame love is the best love. Jamie, what about you?
I didn't know you read my tattoo, Matt. Okay. Well, shout out to Knee Deep. It's just so filthy. But of course, the correct answer is the anniversary of the first time my true love and I first made love. Actually, this is when my lover and I reenacted the entire film. And it's a lot. I mean, we did the sign part.
Wow.
We held up, this kind of a thing. And we redid the airport part and the part where they go to the bar. And, it was deep. It was a lot of money. It was about $600,000-$700,000 to remake it on our tiny little camcorder. It is the anniversary of when we remade the penultimate film, Love Actually.
Yeah, I would imagine by the time you got to the All I Want for Christmas drumming part, you were just exhausted. So kudos to you for that. And Lexi, what about you? Where are you on this?
My eye was also drawn to morally because I can picture making love after a wedding day. So it's the morals were there.
That's right. There's a ring on it. We have proclaimed our love in front of the Lord and our loved ones. And now things can get nasty, but in a moral way. So
in a moral way.
Yeah.
Only in a moral way.
Yes. No. Yes. Shame love. Like I said, shamed love. Shame yourself into it, but then get out of it by way of holy matrimony. So now it's time to pick. You know the routine. Write down the answer that sticks to you most. I mean, I'm going to say, for me, it's knee deep. Because to be knee deep in anything, to have described, especially when you put made love, I made love knee deep. I bet you there's a deep cut somewhere of Barry White about making love knee deep that I need to get my hands on. If anybody out there knows of one, just DM me because I'm ready for it. Word heard, you are keeping us busy tonight. You are sparking lots of conversations. It's going to be, I can see the comments and I can see what the people are loving out there that are watching us. Hello. Thank you for watching. And I see some eyes. I see bright shining faces. Frank, what do you think?
I want to let everyone know that the film Love Actually starts with a 9/11 reference. It's Hugh Grant talking about 9/11. And that's why I think it's beautiful that this couple, their true love, for the first time made love actually.
Boom. Boom. You can never score enough points for Love Actually. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Jamie, how about you?
Love is all around. I just had to.
Knee deep. That's a crowd favorite right there. Knee
I had
deep.
to. It's just so nasty.
Favorite.
Don't ask me to explain why or how. But that is
you don't need to. You do not need to. That would make any Valentine's Day definitely special. Lexi, it is over to you now.
I genuinely don't know how this keeps happening. I promise Jamie and I are not private messaging each other.
Boom! Knee deep for the majority. FTM for the majority, something I just made up. Let's get that in circulation. Frank, listen. I really appreciate your answer. I really, really do. Everything from 9/11 to the big budget to, hopefully even getting Liam Neeson involved. But do you get to be the guy that comes around to the consensus again? Or are you knee deep? Are you knee deep in this with the rest of us?
Don't.
Sandy. Okay.
Anything. Oh.
Oh. Get here, Neatly. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Love Actually reference into the knee deep. I think we found their sequel that they have been very much looking for, which is Love Actually 2, Knee Deep.
That was brilliant, Frank. Well done.
That was very, very well done. Now it's time for round 4. And this is special because this is the twofer. This is where people with 2 cards can submit from our word herd. So round 4, here we go. They've got 2 cards they're submitting, which is 2 words. We were romantic. Let's get raunchy, okay? Let's get into our sex positive portion of the show. I've never tried a threesome before. I'm afraid I'll spend the whole time sitting around naked while the other 2 blank on the blank. Let's see what our word herd submitted for us. I'm afraid the other will spend the whole. I'll spend the whole time sitting around naked while the other 2 creaming on the tamales, while the other 2 wriggle on the insulation, while the other 2 work out on the gargle, while the other 2 reclaims on the beef, while the other 2 cozy on the severance, while the other 2 retaliates on the spreadsheets, while the other 2 speak on the snowmobile, while the other 2 snug on the palm, while the other 2 stick on the flurries, and while the other 2 recharges on the bed sheet. A lot of these words are jumbling things in my mind. I'll tell you that right now. But Frank, the master of romance, which is what I'll call you from here on out, what is jumping out at you?
Well, I mean, I couldn't help but think of the amazing star power of Hugh Grant, an actor from Love Actually. Famously said this line in 4 Weddings and a Funeral. He says, well, the other 2 sitting naked while the other 2 were working out on the gargle. I don't even know what a gargle is. I mean, I know what the verb of gargle. I don't know if as a noun what gargle is. I feel like creaming on the tamales makes me laugh a lot. Like that just really tickles me.
I would, it's tickling, and how rude, actually. Creaming on the tamales.
There's a lot of work that goes into making tamales.
Okay, a good tamale is nothing to be creamed on just willy-nilly. Jamie, what about you?
You know what? You're right, Frank. That's absolutely disgusting and perfect, creaming on the tamales. I like that answer. The first thing that jumped out to me, of course, is spending the whole time watching 2 coworkers retaliate about the messed up spreadsheet. I don't need to have work brought home with me. We're coworkers. We do that stuff at the office. I don't want to hear them retaliate with each other about how fucked up the spreadsheets were. So I'm gonna have to go with that one. But I am feeling you on the creamy tamales, and also just for a special shout out, recharging on the bed sheet. It's a nap, really, is what's happening with that. You're recharging before you jump back in knee deep. You know what I mean?
Hey, now, because it's Love Actually. And I'll tell you right now, I do love that in your scenario, that you have the place of work where coworkers and the threesome just go together. Like, of course, the threesome is with the coworkers. That is a productive work environment. Lexi,
you sleep with who you know, Matt.
That's very true.
Who you're around.
Man, I could tell you stories, but I'm not gonna because it's not that show. Lexi, what do you got here? What about it? While the other 2 are what on the what?
I am just aching to know what situation would require 2 people to be speaking on a snowmobile mid threesome. So that immediately caught my attention. And definitely creamy tamales. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. The creaming tamale seems to be famous. I mean, I will say this: it is the Winter Olympics right now, and I can only imagine in the Olympic Village in Beijing, there's a couple of threesomes where somebody's speaking to somebody on a snowmobile. At least, okay. Now I got that image. Now I got it. All right. Tune in and see what we got. So now comes that moment of truth. Now comes the moment of truth where you pick your answer, you write it down, you be willing to fight for your answer to the ends of the earth and back, because it's all about love here. It's all about love. It's all about this positive threesome that we're having. I don't know if I ever want to cozy on a severance, because the severance feels a little too severe for me personally, but Frank, that's a look of determination in your eye right there. And so what do you got?
Well, I go first every round, which means people disagree with me afterwards. Every I will say this. I think I do want to retaliate on the spreadsheet, but not in a sexual way. I think I want to push back on just that, in like the oppression of corporate like data, corporate greed. So I will retaliate against the spreadsheet like Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, ooh.
I think we should all, if you're in a threesome, you don't want to be the one left out, but when you're not creaming on the tamales.
Creaming on the tamales. You know what? If everybody else is doing it, I want to just be sitting around with dry tamales like some kind of loser. All right, Jamie, what about you? Yeah, that's a pretty compelling argument. What do you have written down?
I love what you've said there, Frank, and I've got to agree. Creaming on the tamale.
Whoa! Oh my goodness! Look at this off the bat. In agreement with Frank right away. Okay, Lexi, you could be on your own island, or you could be with the consensus. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. What did you write down?
I have really bad news.
Uh-oh.
I seem to have agreed.
What? Straight up and down, we have a unanimous consensus right off the bat, creaming on the tamales. Let's see. Who is our word heard winner on that one? That one is going to be Meerkat32. Meerkat32, you are a national treasure, and thank you for bringing all kinds of images of my favorite type of cuisine, which is Mexican food, into my head and making it something that now I'm going to have to lay off of for a little bit, but not the threesomes, just the tamales. Comedians, we are now to our final round. This is our fifth and final round. This one is for gold and special edition cards only. So your chances of winning are greatly, greatly increased. Round 5, let's bring us home. What do we got here? Okay, this was the best Valentine's Day ever. My girlfriend surprised me with blank. Word heard, special cards. What did you put down for us? My girlfriend surprised me with candy. My girlfriend surprised me with affection. My girlfriend surprised me with homecoming. My girlfriend surprised me with chicken. My girlfriend surprised me with change. My girlfriend surprised me with God. My girlfriend surprised me with looks. My girlfriend surprised me with sweet potato. My girlfriend surprised me with bed closed. My girlfriend surprised me with engagement. There are some really big swings here in all so many directions. I am buzzing with excitement to see what you guys come up with. And you know what? You've been heading the pack so well. Frank, I'm going to you first again. I want to know what is behind those eyes. What jumps out at you?
Well, when I first looked at these, I read them all. So I read it as candy affection, as like one word, or chicken change. Like surprised me with chicken change.
Yeah.
Um,
James Brown mentioned chicken change in one of his songs. That's true.
yeah. I don't have chicken change, but I have you, I think is the chorus of that song.
And Frank, what about God Looks, where it's like,
I know, it's just like, you surprised me with God Looks, like you walked in and then, oh, but I mean, really, I guess the idea of affection makes it really sort of sad if like they don't have affection up until that point. So I think that human beings are an evolution, and we should all allow people to not maintain just being the same person, that we're all trying to get better and do better every day.
Preach on it.
My girlfriend surprised me with change.
Oh, yeah. With change. That would be a big one. That would be a big one. Although I would wonder how that is presented. I'm just like, honey, I've changed. Boom. And then she just throws confetti.
And then
Changed. I've changed, and get out. All right. So Jamie, what about you? There's a lot of directions to go here. Which one of these jumps out at you?
Well, there's nothing I like less than God on Valentine's Day, so it's definitely not going to be that. Let's see here. I mean, the obvious answer for me is chicken. It's just so versatile, delicious, made every which way but loose. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go with affection. My girlfriend is pretty cold 364 of the year. So just a little hug, a little neck rub, a little draw a bathtub. I mean, that goes a long way for me. So affection.
There you go. See, so to anybody out there who is hard up for gift ideas, just remember, play it real cool for 364 days. And all you got to do is deal out a little affection. Boom. Best partner ever. Lexi, what about you? What do you see?
So, Matt, circling back to the first question you asked me about what word I would bring on a deserted island.
Okay.
I did say French fries. So the idea of some sweet potatoes on Valentine's Day does ring true to the types of treats that I like. But God is also very intriguing to me. I would like to know more about that sentiment.
You know what? I would too, because it also brings to mind which God. I mean, we kind of we assume it's somewhere in the Judeo-Christian sort of pantheon, or maybe in one of the ones we know. But if your partner comes up to you, your girlfriend in this scenario, and wants to surprise you with, I don't know, Loki or Gozer, I might put that up with best Valentine's Day ever. So, comedians, you have all made really compelling arguments. I wouldn't know. I don't envy you for having to write down an answer, but you do have to write down an answer. Let's bring us home. What is your final answer? Let's commit this to paper. Let's see what you can do. The word heard. Also, big kudos to you, because you have thrown us a doozy right here. You have definitely thrown us a doozy here. This is definitely a special round. This is a great way to bring it home. Man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. And again, thank you to everybody who tuned in. You are making the show. I hope it's as fun for you as it is for me. I am having the time of my life right now, and I'm seeing faces. All right. Here we go. Frank, I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in for this, Frank, because I said, no, you're at work. You're a man at work. You remind me of like how Salieri saw Amadeus working and coming up with genius. What do you have for us? Oh, uh-oh. But yes. I love you. You're perfect. Wait, what was that? Hold on. I love you. Yes. You're perfect now. Bedclothes. Ooh, for the upset. The best Valentine's Day
feel like
ever.
if you get like, I mean, bedclothes is a fancy word for sheets, right? Like,
Yes.
so like, I feel like you're like, it's an insinuation like, hey, they're really nice. I got you new bedclothes.
That, you know what, and how sweet and diplomatic of you to do that. If I got bedclothes, especially from my wife, it would just make me think, man, I need to step up my whole bedclothes game, my whole bed accessory game. But I'm glad you see the sweetness in it. Bedclothes, I never would have thought. Jamie, what about you?
That was a real shocking discovery, Frank. I mean, bedclothes. We're talking winking, blinking, and nod. We're talking the candlestick maker inside of a, bedclothes, like a bedgown and a hat. Didn't go in that direction. I kept the word affection in my mind, but I wanted to add sweet potato with a little condom over the
Boom! We bring it home.
A little condom wrapper right there.
Yeah, sweet potato, but let's keep it safe. Let's keep it safe with that sweet potato.
Safe and sweet.
That's no glove, no love, no starch. I don't know where we're going.
And also,
with that,
Matt, I can't be on the internet putting a condom wrapper around the O in God. So, that was also really important to me. I don't need a screenshot of that coming back to haunt me.
Oh, but you would be a legend. You would be an absolute legend. It would be memed all the way across our great globe. Lexi, it falls to you now. Where we've got bed sheets, we've got sweet potato with a little condom accent on it as a punctuation. Where are you coming in with this?
So I guess it's my turn to be the legend, because I did stick with the same wavelength that Jamie had, but not in the same context.
Holy bedclothes. Holy sweet potato. Holy chicken. Oh, that I saw you like had your hand over your mouth when she was talking, and you were like, oh wow. I was like, yeah, you know what, I guess sweet potato, it can be very shocking. And it's like, oh no, because Lexi went there. Yo, that is legendary. That is absolutely legendary. God with the condom. That actually kind of rhymes back to the whole idea of morally, right? Because it's all moral in there. Wow. Okay. Now this is the first time we've had a three-way split. You have less than 60 seconds to come to a consensus. So I'm actually going to leave this open to you guys. Not going to call on anybody. Let's open this up. Who's ready to argue their case? Who's ready to argue their case? Who's ready to see the light?
I have no allegiance to bedclothes. But I do. The more I think about it, if you put a condom on a sweet potato, we might have. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we should all. I think since we have a three-way, like, split, it means we're all different, and sweet potato is just that, sweet potato.
You're right. Sweet potato. It's right across the plate. You can eat them raw. You can eat them baked. Wouldn't eat them with a condom. Wouldn't go down the same way. Okay, so we have now a majority. We have a majority on sweet potato. Lexi, are you going to go with the consensus? Or are you going to fight for your life with the last 15 seconds we have?
I'll go with the sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Sweet potato. So this was the best Valentine's Day ever. My girlfriend surprised me with a sweet potato. And our winner there is Pastel. Congratulations, Pastel. You are our special card winner. And that was the best Valentine's Day ever. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Thank you so much for watching Own Every Word, the game show. But before we go, you guys were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. This was absolutely hilarious. Frank, where can the people find you?
At home.
Absolutely. So everybody look for Frank at home. You'll be able to find him there, puttering in between the rooms of his home. Jamie, how about you? Where can the folks find you? Hello.
Mostly at home, but also on Twitter at Jamie_Moyer, Jaime, or I do TikTok occasionally. Not anything major, but I sure could use some more followers. My name is Jam, JAM_AN_LIL, Jam and Lil.
All right. Now, Lexi, hey, people know where to find you, but let's put the info out there anywhere. Where can we find you?
Top is Instagram. The bottom is TikTok to do some self-promotion and to keep in the spirit of the game show. But this was so much fun.
This was absolutely awesome. Thank you to our wonderful comedians for doing this show. There it is. Hold that in your hearts tonight. Take that with you to sleep. I hope you have some wonderful Love Actually knee-deep sweet potato condom dreams. Thank you all for watching. We want to thank the Word Heard for submitting, all right, for submitting everything you have submitted. I've been Matt Harris. You can find me here. I do want you to let you know that our next Own Every Word drop is on February 23rd. Make sure to find us on crypto.com/NFT. And if you want to play along right now, go to owneveryword.com. Thanks for being here. Thank you to our wonderful comedians, and good night, folks.